Hello, and welcome to Dice Punks, a tabletop role-playing podcast where we focus on playing full campaigns in less well-known systems. This week in episode 53, our Nobilis prepare for their attempt to remake the cosmos. Hello and welcome. I'm Adam, your friendly neighborhood game master, and joining me are...
Hello, I'm Drew. I'll be playing Leorian Cathar, the Viz-Jarl of partying at the correct speed.
I'm Robin, and I'll be playing Alyssa Crate, deranged dame of frightful fury, who now, hopefully, can add dual DSI to her list of accomplishments.
I'm Des, and I am true, dark, and murdery.
Sounds like a great cocktail, honestly.
Ooh, what would that be?
I bet Rumnet could make a coffee cocktail that would deserve to be called.
Yeah, no, I think it would have a black coffee base.
Our docket next includes working with a XP and then getting a recap. So, Rumnet, you have an XP roll?
Yes, 3 ones.
3 ones. All right, let's see.
What flavor is my experience?
I was thinking of it, but I didn't come to a conclusion. Let's say this one is Riverglass.
A delightful turn from the fleshy and unthinkable of last time.
I remember that.
Truly a land of contrasts, your XP collection. Yeah.
All things that one can find in a river.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, the nature of individual bonus experience points is as varied as the experiences that can be had, so...
There you are.
Any character stat growth? XP expenditures of any kind?
I will be spending 2 divine experience on truth.
All right. That will bring truth up to 2.
Yes.
For you, as it is a non-primary domain.
We had the not-so-ominous warning that we should spend it, or we'll risk losing it at this point, so I'm going to spend 2 mortal XP points to add a dice to my Inspire pool.
All right.
Because there's already a master die there, so that's 1, so the 2 would be like the second die.
Correct, yeah. So that's going to bring your pool for that to 2 plus a master die. All right.
2?
And 1 for command, 1 for inspire, and then your master die.
Oh, yeah,
right?
duh. I got
just making sure I had the math right. Yeah.
Yes.
And Leorian, your expenditures.
Yeah, I think I will spend 2 divine XP to give myself 2 more miracle points in domain.
All right.
And I also think I will spend 3 mortal XP to up my endurance to 3. I have a feeling that there may be some stuff to be endured.
It's not impossible.
I have 2 divine XP points, however, I would be loath to put them in madness when the forge is presumably back on the table for me, so I am going to gamble and not spend those this week.
Sure. Yeah, you have confirmation from Dosk that he has the forge.
Yeah,
he's just asleep.
I will be fetching it from him when he wakes, hopefully, if everything else has not gone sideways in the meantime, which very well appears.
I propose a deal with the GM. When she gets the forge, she can just dump that XP in immediately.
Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
If she gets the forge.
Assuming reality exists next session, yeah.
Well, and I was going to say, I feel like, I guess I don't remember if you had put any points into the forge previously, but that would be a pretty good reason to be able to beef it up.
I believe she had
as well.
Yeah, I had 1 in the forge previously.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good reason to be able to get it right away.
I do also have 2 mortal experience, and I think I will spend that on a sense of direction, which seems appropriate after our time in the labyrinth.
Indeed, yeah. No kidding. All right. So, I think that probably closes us out on XP expenditure.
Yes.
I had him, so I smoked him, yeah.
It was a big spinning episode.
Yeah, these were menthol XP. So I believe that this time our recap of last episode comes from Robnet.
Indeed. We were at a party, full of death, amnesia, and betrayal. We'd found a room beneath a reflecting pond. No windows, no doors, just the leatherily beating heart of truth. I ate it. We returned thereafter, there was an explosion, to Tintern, wherein Leorian found a way toward the heart of the chancel. It was warded, but he felt a need to follow party protocol and greet the host. We found our way through the labyrinth back to one of the rooms I spent some time in, and along the way we discovered that the locusts were invading the party from any way they could. Leorian slowed some of the locusts down with his drum to spare some of the guests, at least for a time. We went through the iron door that I had previously seen bolted shut, that was now blown open. Leorian repaid the drum to speed our way through the desert on the other side and the choking cloud of locusts within. Without? Around. We found, eventually, time passed while we were walking, a meadow, in which there was a dilapidated house in the rain. Within, the furniture was well preserved, and eventually we found a bed with a sleeping Celiand in it. I dissolved the chancel and created a murder that Lissa enacted. As the walls preventing communication came down, we received a flood of prayerful communications. We variously checked in and returned to Bor. This is all true.
Marvelous. Thank you very much. And that is where we pick up. You are standing outside of Urian and Rowena's inn in Bor, and have every expectation that if Imbi is not already there, she will be soon. You had verified that Dusk still was, but he was non-communicative, so you're not entirely sure where or how he is going to be, but he has not been attacked by all indications. And that is where we pick up the sort of moderately windy, moderately warm, moderately cool, undramatically lit, partly cloudy outdoors of Bor, with a very Lurenton style inn in the middle of otherwise vast and empty plains.
I'm going to look with the sight and make sure that there's not any new and unfamiliar divine entities around.
We've had enough of those lately.
Yeah, indeed. There are not. You can sense only one divine entity other than yourselves, and you can recognize your own familia. Imbi is in the common room.
So I start to head that way.
Yeah. You enter the common room. It is empty, but for Imbi seated at a table, she is drawing on a slightly tattered piece of canvas using charcoal. And as you come in, Urian appears from the back room behind the bar and greets you warmly. Oh, welcome. Let me know if you'd like anything. It's an odd innkeeper whose patrons are mostly demigods, but I'm happy to help how I can.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you. This may be the one time I abstain from asking for a drink, at least for the time being, until I confirm that everything's okay.
Right you are.
I proceed up to the room where hopefully Dusk is still sleeping.
I follow.
Same.
All right. Imbi wordlessly stands from her table, leaving her canvas and charcoal on it, and follows your group. You head up to the room that you had left Dusk in, and opening the door, you find that Rowena is seated by the window in a chair reading, but that the bed Dusk was in is vacant. Rowena looks up at your entrance. Oh. Welcome, I suppose.
Hello. We're looking for a boss.
Yes, well, I don't know precisely how long ago it was now. This place doesn't really have days or nights, but he simply sank through the bed, and then through the floor, and was gone. I didn't have any company, so I assumed that was normal. Tried to reach you, but didn't get a response.
There were measures set to interfere, but thank you for trying.
Well,
I'm just glad you're okay.
she looks up directly at you for the first time and says, well, yes, thank you. I'm glad to see you've returned as well. I can't hope to pretend to understand exactly what was going on, but it appeared to be quite dire, so glad to see you all pulled through.
Now that we're here, I pray to Dusk. I say, so you are not in the bed. Apparently you sank through it. Can you hear me? And did you sink to somewhere nice?
You have a sense of reply that is basically just
I convey that I got sort of a 5 more minutes kind of a response.
MB, sort of standing at the back, says, when I've tried to reach Dusk, I've mostly just sensed him sleeping, so that he is not here does not seem to have changed much for him.
Well, sleep is alive, so that's good.
Well, as long as Dusk is well, I suppose too much hasn't changed for us, at least. It's good to see you, NB. I hold my arms out in a universal, I'm going to hug you if you're okay with it gesture.
She approaches and gives you a brief hug, and she says, it's good to see you too. We hoped that everything was fine while you were gone. When it stretched beyond a week, the anchors in Fermata started to get nervous, and I reassured them as best I could.
Oh,
Sorry, we've been gone how long?
3.5 weeks?
3 weeks?
You did not know.
We were in a party during which there was neither night nor day.
Oh.
Subjectively, it was some number of hours.
She nods slowly. She says, well, we knew that you were likely out of touch because of where you were, and so I reassured Kea when she came to ask, and she kept Varric in the loop, and it didn't seem like it was, until relatively recently anything to worry about, but, well, I'm here because Adeliova has been in Fermata, and, well, there was no emergency, but when Romulus and Philia left around the same time that Adeliova started sort of holding meetings in the residence she had taken up in Fermata, it seemed like it would be a good idea not to be isolated. So I retreated from the manifestation to here. That was yesterday, subjectively, for me.
Do you know what of Vruta
I am afraid not.
and the one erroneously known as Truth?
I have not encountered him.
We believe we were successful, or we hope we were successful, in ending Cilliand.
I am glad to hear that. As far as I know, the last time I was able to verify Adeliova was still active, but, well, with time being mismatched, I'm not sure.
I suppose if indeed we have ended Cilliand, then her own destruction was worth wasting weeks of our time to her, which is itself a bit worrying.
Imbi sort of gives I'll describe it as a thoughtful shrug.
I reach out to Kea and ask if Adeliova is still in town.
She responds immediately that, well, I haven't seen her myself in a few days at least, but I will check around and I'll get back to you when I know.
Just be safe.
You as well. I'll report back when I have anything to report, and I'll try to make sure she doesn't even see me.
Perfect.
You think you hear a muttered, just like you.
I guffaw out loud in the room. Not quite a guffaw, but like a delighted, choking sound of unexpected glee.
I will take a moment to pray to Rymulus. O mighty whirlwind, how's the weather?
You get the sensation of a prayer going through, but you do not get a response.
Prayer went through.
That's how it was when I reached out to both of them.
I will pray to beauty.
All right, what do you say?
Fair one, are you there?
There are a couple of beats, but after only the a very modest delay, you hear Adeliova saying, "What a polite form of address. What may I do for you?"
We were checking in, at least partly, on the state of you, yours, and hostilities.
Oh, do tell.
I imagine all of these should be self-evident.
Well, I always did take you as one with a powerful imagination, but you will have to be more specific in your inquiries.
We wondered particularly at the state of your boss.
Well, that seems like information that I have very little motivation to share with you.
Of course. But the fact that you answered is itself telling. Be well, or at least glorious.
You know I will be.
Well, Beauty's still around, so we may not have completely succeeded.
Not completely.
How do we know if we partially succeeded?
The bloodstone went inert.
That's true. We killed something or someone. Godly. Imperious.
I send a quick message to Kea. Like a, never mind, you're the best. Please don't go looking after Beauty. She's still in town. Be safe.
You get the prayer equivalent of somebody giving a cheeky salute.
Adorable.
I'm tapped on miracle points. Like, utterly spent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I will do instead is resort to mere sorcery.
Okay.
Mere sorcery.
The merest.
It's like the 4th spell I've cast this campaign,
Yeah, there haven't been too many.
despite the large amount of XP I have poured into it.
Mm-hmm.
It had to go somewhere.
I mean, yeah. I did my usual thing of, oh, there's a way I can get extra XP? Let's do that. Regardless, I will take some time and some liquor to
Mhm.
cast Brightwater Oracle.
Okay. I'm assuming this involves a movement back down to the common room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, for our listeners, this is a spell. While casting, the bowl of water must be in bright light. This spell can be directed in its query. It is more or less a clue dispenser. The PC casts the spell. The GM gives them a clue. It takes about 7 minutes to cast and lasts for the roll's height in minutes. So this is going to involve a little bit of conversation with Urian, who is happy to provide anything you need, as well as a roll of, is it still 6 plus a master die?
It is 7 and a master die.
7 and a master die now. Excellent.
So that is 3 becomes 4 nines.
4 nines. All right. So, everybody comes down to the common room. Urian helps Ramnet get sort of set up with his bowl and helps to arrange for the brightest light possible in the area. And it takes a few minutes for Ramnet to cast, and then he sort of zones out for a few minutes as well as he sort of experiences this divination, sorceress divination rather than miraculous divination. Do either of our other Nobilis have anything that they wish to accomplish in the roughly 15 minutes that this takes?
Have we tried praying to Fruta since we found out he's not in evidence?
Oh,
I mean,
he's unable.
your prayers back when you were first exiting Tintern just did not go through Verta.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I believe, Leorian, you were the one to discover and share that information.
Correct. That is correct.
I am saving miracle points as best I can, but if I what's your realm, Drew?
Mine. So I'm pretty good on miracle points. If we have ideas that my skill set would be good for, I have got 8 realm miracle points right now,
But 0 realm.
but 0 realm. So
Okay.
I could do stuff, but it would cost me.
We could ask what became of Vruta or Flare using realm miracles. If
No, that's a
you
fine
want some
idea.
answers.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. I ask Boar what
Mhm.
became of Ruta or Flare.
Sure. And so that is likely to be a level 2 for a lesser divination.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's going to be 2 realm miracle points from Leorian. And let's see, your question was what became of Flare? You see the common room that you are in, and you see silhouettes of two people. The light that is causing the silhouetting seems to be emanating from the eyes, nose, ears, and mouth of one of the people. And then the whole common room goes sketchy, not unlike the Heart of War.
Yeah, I mean, I convey this vision as best I can. Romnet's in the zone, but I at least tell Lissa.
Sure. As for Romnet, once you complete your spell, you are, doing some chanting and some, kind of motions. You have come to the conclusion, and through your study of this particular school of sorcery, that a lot of this may not actually be strictly necessary, but you're not actually sure which parts do the activation of the spell.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I suspect that I've done some amount of how much can I reduce this to just mumbling over coffee?
Mm-hmm. And it's like, some.
Yeah.
But you peer into the bowl that you sourced from Urian when the spell completes, and you have an image in the bowl of rows of people arranged into ascending tiers, sort of smaller and smaller. They're not standing on top of one another. It's more like a diagram or a relief carving, just without the intervening medium of stone or paper. And these people are all facing out away from the grouping that they're in. But you sense light sort of flowing up them to a small group of figures at the top who are all facing inward, toward each other and toward the center of this arrangement. And you sense that the sort of light is concentrating there on the point where they are collectively regarding. And as this sort of image comes into very clear view and then begins to start to dissolve, the figure in the center of the bottom, who is looking outward, like moves, raises their gaze to meet your eyes, and you get a really good look. This is a young woman who is dressed for travel, and she has a familial resemblance to Leorian. As the image finishes dissolving, she gives you kind of a wry smirk.
A cult message?
I will, when I come to, just look over at Leorian and describe the woman who smirked at me.
Leorian, it does not take a whole lot of description for you to recognize that is definitely Firagi.
So it seems the cult might be going well.
You may want to check in with her.
Yeah, that seems like a very good idea.
I will then describe the circumstances in which she smirked at me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, smirking is a thing she does. That's.
Is she often at the, smallest level of a flat relief without stone, with light shot through it all?
I've never known her to operate at the lowest level of anything, so yeah, that part is strange.
I think I'm going to actually get that drink now.
I will offer her the bowl of vodka.
Is it Does the magic do anything? Am I gonna start having visions? I think I need something fresh.
Urian does that thing that sometimes very good bartenders and innkeepers can do, where he seems to just sort of like suddenly be next to you without having like been there or moved there. And he says, "Well, in that case, what can I get you?"
The usual.
He pauses, nods, and goes back to the bar, getting a earthenware jug, pulling the cork out of it, and pouring a good, like, kind of 3 gloop gloop gloops into a beaten metal cup, and bringing it to you at the table, and with a sort of cheeky and slightly self-deprecating expression, saying, "All in the house. Enjoy."
Thank you.
I think I stay frosty for the moment, but I do check in with Firagi.
Okay. You join Firagi as she is stepping up, seeming to be the last in a line of people going to a sort of outdoor cookpot setup, and getting a wooden bowl of a fairly hearty seeming stew. As she sort of looks around the area, you discern that she is near a small town somewhere in the Vales. Must be relatively close to where the Vales kind of lead into the coastal plain, because there are no sand dunes in sight.
I say, well, if you have a moment to get to it, how goes the cult?
She rests her spoon on her bowl and sets it sort of on one of the shelves near the back of the wagon she seems to have been living out of while this goes on, and then leans against it and stares kind of off into the plains and murmurs. She says, "Nice of you to check in. Reasonably well. The ideas do seem to be picking up steam. We don't have large formal membership necessarily, but people do seem to be rather tired of meddling where they've experienced it. And, well, if I do say so myself, I am a reasonably persuasive sort. If the theory behind it all was sound, then I think we should have at least some power for you to draw on, should you manage to access, the belief, as we had previously discussed you might be able to. Or I suppose the lack of belief.
Right. Well, yeah, it's sort of the words fail. So, I do my best to describe the vision. I say, so if not I, but if someone were to have seen you at the base of a pyramid ascending into light, would that sound to you like something you've been doing lately?
You feel her eyebrow sort of quirks, and she says, "It sounds rather more traditional than the religion that we've been crafting, but I suppose that I could be foundational, and we have indeed been trying to spread our ideas to folks who might be in a position to spread them further, rather higher in society than a traveling musician and her companions. But all the insight I really have there."
This was not, of course, to impugn your role, which is, of course, foundational in the most flattering sense. Any particular high such and suches that may have been influenced that you know of, or would this have been a sort of a second or third order kind of influence?
She makes sort of a non-committal gesture. She says, well, we've had more success in the big fish of the various small ponds in the Vales. Calavan, mostly the everyday people were the ones who were more interested in what we had to say, though some of the smaller coastal cities between Nema and Calavan were a little more receptive. Certainly no one particularly august, but a few here and there with influence.
Well, there seems reason to believe that the seeds you're planting are bearing quite a bit, so thank you.
Of course. I'm glad that my efforts haven't been wasted, and I hope that you are pleased with whatever you are able to glean from our efforts, but I suppose let me know how it actually all shakes out.
Of course. Is there anything you need from me? I mean, is the power that I gave to you come in useful?
Oh yes, or at least it seems to have. Thank you for your blessings, O high and mighty Lord.
I don't know if she can feel me blush, but
she does, actually.
Okay.
Because you blush, she blushes. She seems slightly annoyed at that. But lets it pass without remark.
It was a kind of a victory for her, I suppose. Well, if you require any additional blessings from on high, just beseech. I should go. Thank you. Yeah. Goodbye.
You catch her farewell just as you are dipping out.
Yeah, so I convey that as a metaphor, the vision made perfect sense. Having, I think, not seen Romnet do this particular thing before, I ask whether the visions tend to be abstract or whether we should be looking for an actual stack of people.
They tend to be rather abstract.
Well,
the
then it
last time
seems...
the last time I remember doing this was approximately when Fermata was hosting the Sirthans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we have reason to believe that someone high in some sense or other has been enfolded into the empty word. Whether one is tall and one is short, or whether that too is a metaphor, I suppose we don't know.
Were there only two figures?
Two that stood out.
There was a crowd and one that was tall and one that was short.
So at the top tier, there was a small number of people that I did not specify, but of those people at the top, one was noticeably taller than the others, and one was noticeably shorter than the others.
Was there a direction? Was there a directionality to the light, or was there just light?
Well, it was sort of a column suffusing the middle of the sort of tiered structure, with its focal point in the middle of the people on the top tier.
Okay.
Could it have been the Familia at the top tier?
One of us is noticeably taller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing in the vision that would say that it couldn't have been. And, if this is a discussion taking place out loud, Imbi will, from where she's drawing on her canvas, go, and I'm noticeably shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I had noticed. Meaning no offense, of course.
She shrugs one shoulder and she says, certainly none taken. I wonder if I will continue to grow in this state.
I think you could if you wanted to. You could be as tall as I am if you wanted to.
She pauses and kind of cocks her head. Interesting. And then keeps going with her drawing.
What are you
drawing? To some degree, it
drawing?
may rely on a conversation with Dusk, but all things in due time.
Indeed, and let's not lose sight of the other good news, which is that even if Dusk does not awaken, we seem to have a well of power of mortal origin upon which to draw should the need arise.
And should we figure out how?
There's that.
We should figure out how.
Sooner rather than later.
In response to Lissa's question, Imbi just sort of like gestures to her drawing, and she has been doing a fairly detailed and dramatically lit sketch of Apatia.
I smile and give her 2 thumbs up.
She gives a small smile. And
Can I
continues
give
drawing.
the drawing a ghost miracle of truth?
To what end?
That all of the details appear accurate both to the intersection between intention and reality.
Okay. You use the ghost miracle and you feel it sort of like come into contact with Imbi's Octoritas, and she sort of cocks her head for a second, and then it passes through that Octoritas, and she continues drawing with a little more confidence.
Oh.
Possibly too abstract a question.
Mm-hmm.
But if I try to feel for the power that should be gathering based on Firaki's activities, can I feel it? Does it help that I know she's in the Veils? Does it help that, let's say, wherever she is in the Veils, I've been. I recognized the place she was in. So I hold in my mind at least roughly where she is, and I imagine power swirling around her based on what she's doing and her influence. What do I get back, if anything?
You can imagine all of this very successfully, but you are not in the mortal world. And so all you do is imagine. If there is anything to touch, it will need to be done from the mortal world.
Is there any way to suss out a connection between that potential power and the nothing whose enchanceled body we are in?
I mean, nothing comes immediately to mind or to senses. It is possible that
Exactly.
it would... Yeah, I know. It is possible that what you are attempting here would be possible with an awake Dusk.
He's been asleep for 3.5 weeks.
I would like to prayerfully poke Dusk. Yank the covers off, as it were. Boss, it's been well more than 5 minutes. We have questions.
You again get the sense of your prayer completing its journey, but the metaphorical phone ringing out while Dusk is in sort of his torpor. He is clearly still in Boar, but it's also possible that he is just doing the thing where the whole chancel is his body. And, you sort of thinking about it, like, he could also just be resting in the heart of the chancel, right? Like that, if he has a location, it could be there.
Have we been to the heart of this chancel?
Yes, it's the sketched version of the Nightcap common room.
Right. For some reason, my brain had conflated it with, like, this common room had at points been sketched out.
Yeah, no, you had been to that Nightcap common room sketch well before this inn existed.
Right. I propose a relocation, then, from this common room to that.
Imbi folds up her canvas with her charcoal and stands ready to travel.
I offer her a hand if she wishes to take it.
She does. And unless I hear otherwise, we all sort of focus on getting to the heart of the chancel here and presumably like wave bye to Urian. And
I toast him with the glass that I'm leaving with.
Say New Orleans screen printing shop that has a line of designs that just say, I'm going to leave with this drink.
Yes.
And I feel like I should get Lissa one of those. So yeah, you step out the door from this common room into a different common room. From further back in your noble journey, and you're kind of getting your bearings. There are actually two prone figures in this common room. That are immediately visible. They're both on tables. The closer one registers very, very quickly as Vruta, who is lying perfectly still, not quite formally enough to be like lying in state or anything, but not overly disheveled either, as though perhaps you would position somebody who was about to receive medical attention, but there are no visible wounds and no medical attention being provided. The other figure does have visible harm. It is Truth, lying on a different table, a little more sprawled, and his head has sort of rolled to face the door that you're entering from, and his eyes, ears, nose, and mouth are all charred black and cracked, as though great heat had poured out of them.
I look at them both with the sight to see, but I also move to take Vruta's pulse, or check for a pulse.
Okay. In the sight, Truth appears as inert matter, not much different from the tables. And Vruta has just the most barely evident sheen of divinity on him. Going to take a pulse, you can't find one.
Is there any sort of nature to the divinity, or is it just...
It is a little like trying to read the impressions made on a page that was underneath a page being written on. Like, you can kind of see it, but hard to make out with the naked eye. While you're doing this, you actually hear from the direction of the bar a sort of brief cacophonous snoring sound that I will spare our listeners from doing into the microphone.
I'll go over and poke the nothing that's snoring.
You go over toward the bar and you look, and the sketched version of Dask that you've become accustomed to in the chancel here is sprawled on the floor between the bar and the shelves. And mostly just seems to be sort of breathing normally, but every once in a while his breath will sort of catch in a noisier kind of snorting.
I've been there before. It's not fun.
Hopefully not for a span of weeks.
Does he respond to being poked?
No.
I'm going to do... So, with Realm, I did a bit of a sensation miracle last time, which was like a lesser creation, I believe. I want to do a ghost miracle of vitality on Vruta.
Okay. I guess what effect do you intend here as a ghost miracle? Like, the effect and magnitude are limited, but what are you aiming for with this? Just
essentially one of those, essentially hitting him with a brief paddle of vitality if that medical technology were around in a miraculous sense.
Sure. The miracle works, but it is a little like moving your hand into like a gel or an ooze. Like you're moving it with one level of resistance, and then you kind of come up against thicker space, thicker spiritus dei, I guess. And actually, Leorian, if you're paying attention to this ghost miracle that's happening, you will actually get a hint of what is actually going on here. Vruta has been placed in sort of a miraculous envelope of very, very low tempo.
Yeah, I mean, I tell the others this, and I think I perhaps try to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Miracle points being a bit dear, I think I use the drum.
Okay.
I think it may be worthwhile to check the purpose of the tempoing, as if,
that's a good point.
It may be the divine equivalent of a medical coma in order for the patient to survive until our boss wakes up.
I'm going to say I already had the drum ready to play, and good point, put it away. So yeah, I think I perform a lesser divination of tempo, and I get a sense of the correctness, for lack of a better term, the medical necessity of this slowed state that he's in.
Okay. The information you can get with the lesser divination here is that Dosk was the author of this miracle that is keeping Vruta in this envelope of very, very low tempo, and it looks like the last time his heartbeat was 4 days ago. Like, that's how slow this is going within this envelope. And you can't do an analysis of Vruta's well-being, but you also can't think of another reason why Dosk would have done this except to buy Vruta time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I convey this, that his heartbeat, I may not have this metaphor to hand, but that his heartbeats have begun to be geological.
I'll do a divination of murder to get the details on any murders that may have been attempted or affected on any in this place.
On any in this place.
Oh boy.
So once
other than the 3 PCs.
I was going to say, you have to sift through some things.
Little recap episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Sit back, dear listener, and listen as Adam recounts most of the campaign.
Yeah, put the little...
I think for being in charge of murder, I've probably participated in or been subject to the least of them.
Yes.
Quite possibly.
And otherwise, yeah.
Cue the little organ music from the beginning of Monty Python on the Holy Grail while I start to recap this stuff. In any case, filtering for the 2 unconscious, or I should say 2 inert.
And possibly Dosk, too.
And Dosk was
and
intense
Dosk
there as well.
All right, well, you have to do a little bit of filtering for Dosk from his mortal past.
Right.
But
We'll temporarily cap it at 3 weeks.
Okay.
Since we left.
Yeah, since you last left, there's been 1 murder and 1 attempted murder. While you can't necessarily piece together the blow by blow, it would appear that Truth attempted to harm Vruta, and Vruta managed to either kill or incapacitate Truth, sometime before you ate Truth's heart in Tintern. The whatever it is that Truth seems to have done to Vruta is stalled currently, presumably by the temporal miracle that Dusk put on him.
Would it require miracle points for me to destroy any murders on Vruta?
That is a good question. So let's see. You are
Believe I'm a regnant, but I can't actually remember.
You are domain 4 in
I'm
murder.
Duke. Okay.
Yeah, and so a lesser destruction would be level 5. You would need 1 miracle point there.
Nah.
To do that.
I'm so glad we've arrived to the crime procedural episode of the show.
Did it really take this long? I guess we haven't had one. Yeah.
There have been a couple times
way
we came close.
We've also committed some, you know,
that I can borrow some power?
what we've left in our aftermath could have been a crime procedural episode a few times, but
Yes.
Yeah, the camera's been facing the wrong way for that to be the case.
right.
And Des, I didn't catch what you were saying there. Sorry.
Oh, that was an in-character query to my familia. Is there any way that I can borrow some power?
I dare say so.
I would like to destroy a murder.
Since
Sure.
you are in the heart of the chancel, I think it should be reasonably possible to make power fungible in that way, though we, I think, have established previously that it's more difficult in other circumstances.
Sure.
It does look, not that I am pushing you in any particular direction, but it does look like Leorian has the most available miracle points generally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to rule that realm points are going to be the most fungible here.
That makes sense. What do you need?
Can I
Name your price.
Can I snipe a 1 realm miracle point?
Most assuredly.
Will there need to be any penetration on this for it to take effect, Adam?
Given that the original perpetrator seems to be no more, no. But
Cool.
You probably will need 2 realm miracle points if you're wishing to use a domain miracle on it.
That's true, yes. So
That's fine too.
2 realm, which I will last trump into a domain and thereby extinguish a murder.
Yeah, and so with a moment's concentration, you are able to destroy the attempted murder of Vruta, at which point the miracle Dask had given there seems to have been conditional. And in the space of a few moments, Vruta sort of rejoins the normal flow of time and then starts visibly breathing.
So what I'm hearing is I'm like the world's like most contextually significant medical team.
Yes.
More or
Yes,
less.
I suppose that is
You
true.
stop dying. Stop being murdered.
Particularly where you are in miraculous spaces or there is no physical sort of vector for the murder, your miracles can be immediately and fully potent. If Vruta had been, like, I don't know, chopped up into little bits or something, you may have had
Made into soup.
yeah, a little bit less efficacy, but since it was literally just a miraculous effect attempting to put pressure on him to die, and he's not fully mortal, yes, this is ideal circumstances for you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So glad we have not lost the court scribe, as it were.
Yeah.
So yeah, over the next couple of minutes, Vruta sort of regains consciousness and starts kind of trying to get his bearings. After looking around for a few minutes, a few minutes is probably a long time. After looking around for a bit, Vruta sort of blinks rapidly and focuses on where the 3 of you are and sort of clears his throat and says, Am not dead? I guess I mustn't be. Thank you, I imagine.
If he's making eye contact with me, I point over in the direction of Romnet.
At about the same time that I also point in the direction of Romnet.
Oh,
I will give him a little wave.
yes, thank you, kindly. And then he turns and sees where Truth is and goes, oh, yes. Turning back to the three of you, he says, well, how much do you know?
We were gone 3.5 weeks. Adi Leova is in Frabada. She's still alive despite us. What we thought was a successful murder tip on Cillian turned out not to be because she's still alive.
But you did succeed.
We think.
The bloodstone went inert. We found what seemed to be the heart of her chancel.
He kind of totters to his feet, walks over to where Truth is, and sort of rolls Truth partially up and pulls Currents of the Cosmos out of where it was tucked kind of in the back waistband of Truth's trousers, and starts flipping through it and says, yes, no, I think that makes sense. He pauses and says, what of the chancel?
We undid it before we effected a murder upon the body in the bed.
He snaps his fingers and sort of, kind of gives a little emphatic finger wag and says, yes, of course. No, that was strategically sound. And he kind of flips and scans a couple pages and then says, my guess is that you have murdered Cillian's gestalt and deprived her of the protection of a chancel. So the emanation carrying whatever shards she was dispatched with is likely still at large in the world, but
and that's all that's left then.
Has no safe haven and no way to get back the shards that were left with the part that you murdered. Other than, I suppose, to attempt to locate if they have been redistributed somewhere. But that seems like it would be a long-term scavenger hunt unless I miss my mark, which I might. Anyway, he gestures towards Truth and says, what I believe to have been a couple of days after you all left, he showed back up, and we were having what I thought was a pretty lovely chat, and, holding down the fort for a few days after that. And then I awoke one night to a penetration of my Arcturitas here, and a miracle trying to take hold. Reflexively, making my way down to the common room in the time that I had, saw Truth there, and I had a rather instinctive creation of flair, and he gestures to the orifices on Truth's head where all of the charring is, and says, it was rather more dramatic than I thought it might be. But it seems to have done the job at the cost of most of what I had in terms of power on hand. Kind of a shame, but thank you. Sort of nods.
It may please you to know that I am Truth now.
Gives a wry smile and says, that seems a dangerous combination.
I will give him a beatific smile.
He blinks twice and gives you a shaky smirk. Says, I suppose, and he looks around, that what must have happened is that our benefactor, and he sort of looks around as though seeking Dosk, and then hears a snort from behind the bar and goes, must have roused himself enough to help me. but perhaps at the cost.
You were in an envelope of geologically slow tempo.
Oh, I suppose that would have done it. I don't know the exact nature of the miracle, he nods towards Truth, that I was being affected by, but given that he had Truth, it was probably an attempt to, well, verbally fiat my aliveness or deathitude. In any case, thank you for helping, and he sort of arches his neck towards the barn. And thank you for helping? But it would seem that rousing oneself in such a way is perhaps not ideal for a god in torpor. Still, he'll be safest here.
We didn't really know what we were going to come back to be perfectly honest. And killing the Gestalt. This may be a terrible question. Feel free to tell me so if it is. That would actually be great to hear. But is there a reason that she might have wanted us to do that?
Well, I can think of a few possibilities, but I suppose I don't have a way of knowing if any of them are true. It could be that she simply didn't think you would be able to. Alternatively, she was making a sacrifice play and had something that she could only accomplish with you occupied. In which case, I imagine that we're coming close to events reaching ahead.
Yeah. Sure.
Or it, I suppose, could have... Well, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for it to have been a stratagem to make you think she was fully out of the picture, as you've already figured out that's not the case. And she must have known that it wouldn't be that hard. Especially...
If taking you out of the picture was part of the plan, and taking the book out of the picture seemed to have been part of the plan as well, then, I mean, maybe.
It's possible, but if your escape from the chancel involved you acquiring the Shard of Truth, then would then follow that she couldn't expect you to be deceived for long, as a divination of truth would presumably allow you to find out the nature of things. So, I think perhaps my assessment is that she assumed that you either wouldn't get out at all, or that if you did, it would buy her whatever advantage she needed to make the sacrifice worth it. And then he pauses and says,
Sacrifice.
Yes, that was my thought. She may even
She probably got a great deal of power from that sacrifice.
Yes, I would expect her to be topped off.
As this conversation is going on, I'm going to wordlessly stand up and begin to drag Truth's corpse out of the common room. And I for dramatic effect, and I'm not sure if it's practical within the rules of Boar, but what I would like to have happen is Lissa drags Truth's body through the door. There is a beat, and then she returns through the door without it, having just returned from outside of Boar with the sounds of furious animals eating in the background as the door closes behind her.
I think that I can grant most of that, other than the sounds coming into the common room in that way, because you are essentially traveling through nothing at both sides. But you can certainly leave, dispose, and come back, minus the comical sound effects for the audience in the common room. While this is going on,
no soundboard lions or anything.
Once Lissa returns, the conversation that she was doing this in the middle of sort of gets to the point that we had narrated it to, and then let's see, where would it be? Ramnet, you are surprised to find yourself being prayed to by Croesus Tyr. He is surly about it, but seems to be urgent enough to overcome his reluctance to reach out to you. The prayer opens with, I don't know how interesting it will be or what you'll be able to do, but sails have appeared on the horizon, quite a large number of them, of the Diamacor style, though our lookouts tell us they appear damaged. Were you expecting company?
I will do a quick ping to Apatia to see if she will respond.
You hear, Ramnet?
Hi, are you involved with the Diamok ships coming to shore?
Oh, well, we just sighted land. Yes, it has been quite a difficult voyage.
Well, I'm very glad that you are back, and would you like us to be in a position to receive you?
We will certainly require supplies and repairs. If you could arrange those, it would be lovely to see you, but I don't wish to take you away from whatever you're doing.
Oh, we have just returned from Tintern. She is without a chancellor now, but that may have fueled a sacrifice. Or rather, fueled her through sacrifice. Unclear.
Celiand, yes. Well, I will need to catch up, certainly.
Indeed. I will respond to Croesus to let him know that the ships are not hostile, but indeed would likely benefit everyone commercially. If there could be repairs and supplies waiting. You may have met Apatia at one point.
He sort of gives a grunt and says, yes, very well. We'll see to it.
Thank you. Things are very rapidly approaching an end state.
I see. Maybe that has something to do with the storm clouds that have gathered on the horizon since I first started speaking to you. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Those are generally outside of our familia's domain set. But I suspect we know the players involved there. I think that we will be seeing you in person soon.
I suppose that for once I rather look forward to it.
I'm pleased to hear this. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, and so on.
Yes. And then he is
exactly
doing what he's
We're
doing.
both just as pleased as each other at having this connection.
Indeed. But, if nothing else, you feel you can rely on Croesus to administer his city.
Exactly. I will relay this to the others. Several things. Croesus actually prayed to me, so that's funny. And one. Two, Diamok ships have been sighted approaching the city. I have confirmed with Apatia that it's her and hers, and they've apparently had a very rough journey if the ships are damaged. Croesus will be arranging for repairs and supplies and so on to be available. And thing third, storm clouds have been gathering rapidly, apparently since the time that Croesus first prayed at me. So we may have something new in sight.
Rough voyage, storm clouds. That's
Villian Rimalus, do you think And I look to MB. You should probably come with us. I wonder if your mother could be aboard one of those ships.
Imbi is usually very placid, but at that, her face goes drawn and pale as she goes, well, I suppose I should like to see her. I hope she's well.
I hope she is too, but I didn't mean to put you in an uncomfortable situation if you don't wish to see her.
She shakes her head and she just says, it's just that so much has changed. But it is probably something that I should do before risking the end of everything.
I can say, just based on the extremely brief amount of time that I've met her, a lot has changed, but I don't think her love for you has.
She nods, seeming to accept this reasoning, but perhaps minimally comforted by it all the same. In which I look through all of my stuff to see if I can remember Imbi's mother's name.
I think I have it. Hold on.
I know it's
like a Mela or something like that.
Somewhere.
That sounds right. Let me see if I have it.
I know I wrote it down.
Anella.
Okay.
Anella, yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo! There we go. But yeah, Imbi sort of looks thoughtful and falls quiet. Vruta, for his part, it's like, well, if things are moving that rapidly, it seems like we should probably have all our ducks in a row sooner than later. What can I do? You all are rather more experienced than I, and commensurately more powerful.
Powerful, perhaps, but I'm currently entirely sapped of my fuel, as it were. Do you know how we might access any stored belief that might have accumulated in or through Dusk?
He glances to where Dusk is sleeping and says, well, I suppose while we're here, there's no harm in attempting to simply draw it from him through physical touch. Otherwise, if it's coming from mortals, it seems like being around or near those mortals might help to focus it.
Like the shipfuls that Apatia is bringing with her.
Certainly, I also believe there's a cult in play.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
It's not something I have direct experience with, but this all seems very highly associational and metaphorical and whatnot, so...
I will walk over to Dusk again behind the bar and put a hand on his shoulder and say, hey, boss. Can I take some of the nothing that is you so that I can be of use?
He sort of goes and rolls a little bit, and sure enough, you get kind of a jolt. Let's call it coffee of the soul from your contact with him.
I want this. How do I get this in real life?
Yeah, for real.
Starbucks.
And your miracle points go back up to 5s across the board. Since that's where your refresh points are.
Just for the asking, damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do the same thing.
I will, yeah, your theory is sound.
Vruta sort of nods and says, I think were he conscious, it would be a less arbitrarily delimited process, perhaps, but it can work as it works.
Sure.
I'm glad that it does work at any rate.
Same.
I'm going to go do the same.
Yeah.
I'm also going to add, if you have any spare power, and if it would help, I would love to have the forge back.
You do get your aspect and realm topped off at their resting amounts, 5 and 6 respectively, but there is no response, verbal or power-wise, to the appended request. It would seem that Daska is going to need to be conscious to do that kind of reshuffling.
Okay.
I walk over as well, and I say, I believe in nothing, which means I believe in you. I'd like to help. I'd also like for Lissa to have the forge at some point.
And your domain gets up to its resting state of 9. Your realm resets to its resting state of 5. 5. And Lissa still does not get the forge back just yet.
A for effort, though.
Yeah, he's supportive bro. That's always going to be the status.
Yeah. Also, resting of 9.
Well, I'm
Nice.
hard. Well, I bought 2 today, and I'm hard capped as far as the domain level itself being 3 for timey-wimey reasons. So yeah, I got him.
Because
I plan
otherwise
to spend
too
'em.
powerful.
You've gotten the missive from Croesus about the storm and the ships from Dimacor. You've corresponded with Apatia about it. You've gotten power from Dosk. What is your next move?
Zoop.
Mm-hmm.
Jupadoop.
Vruta goes and gets power from Dosk. Imbi goes and gets power from Dosk. Then would you be zooping to Therit then?
Yes.
Yes.
Where in Therit do you want to end up?
The harbor,
The harbor
where the
makes
boats
sense.
are coming in.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
You, with a slight, you appear on the harbor wall, and you can see. My mistake. The harbor wall is a feature of Calavan. Therit does have a harbor, but it doesn't have such a formal delineation. My mistake.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, Ferret is not very much for walls generally.
It has the outer walls, but they are largely decorative. Not going to hold up to a determined siege. But yes, you arrive sort of just above the harbor, kind of the streets leading to it. There is a brief stir at your appearance, but the people of Therit are more inured to the supernatural than they once were.
It's them demigods again.
Yeah. Basically, we recognize those ones. We're probably okay. But yeah, you can see that the ships from Dimacor are rapidly approaching the harbor, that they still have some ground to cover. You can see that there are a few that are intact, but most of them have torn sails or broken masts or even patching on the hull. And beyond them, I mean, sea storms can look real dramatic from the shore, even when they're not much of a much. This definitely looks like it's going to be much of a much when it does break.
Looking up at the storm clouds, I say, so Lissa, you know him, right?
The storm clouds, I think, are more of Philia.
Sure. True. Of course. Yeah. Sure. Her we're perhaps on less good terms with, but the rough voyage, it seems, I mean, if there's some way to still come to a friendly end here, that seems preferable. Fighting all of the deep seems daunting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's changed. But they were not responsive when I reached out to them in prayer.
Right.
I'll reach out. Because why not? To Philia in particular.
Okay.
Mhm.
And your prayer?
I assume you're coming to Ferret?
No response, though the prayer goes through.
I take it from your lack of response that situations have changed and you are no longer amenable to the prior potential bargain?
Still no response.
Very well. I'll convey the lack of response.
Without expecting a response myself, I do send another message to Rimulis, specifically from the voice of Mavia. And it's just a simple message of, I still consider you my friend.
Let's see. Give me a charm plus fascinate 5 plus a master die.
Okay. That's good. That's my first. I think this is my first 3 6s.
Hell yes.
Nice.
First in a while, at any rate. Regardless, let me.
And perfectly timed in any case.
Indeed.
Yeah.
If that doesn't charm and fascinate, I don't know what would.
So, let's see. In response, at first, there's nothing, but it feels like a tense nothing. And then you get just seemingly kind of distant and tense. You just get furious. Long pause. Beautiful. And that's all.
I relay that to the others. I think Addie Leova has them under some kind of thrall.
That tracks.
She seems the type, yeah.
I respond after a moment of consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Still in Mavia's voice.
Mm-hmm.
How can I help you?
There isn't any further response.
What if we go straight to management? Now, this is something I've avoided doing, given Dusk laying low and all, but, I mean, if Adeliova has enthralled both Philia and Ramaloose, I mean, like, the Deep wouldn't be very happy about that.
No.
If that's what's happening. I mean, we don't know that that's what's happening, but I don't know, it seems risky. Forget I said anything.
They're also willing to do what it takes to ensure their survival. It may not be a bad idea to let them know that Cilliand has been killing gods.
Yep.
That's what happened to Nyx.
I pray to the Deep.
Mm-hmm. And you say?
I say, oh Deep, fathomless, unknowable, unfathomed. I feel like there's much we could discuss, but now is not the time. Gods are being killed. Neither the first nor the last has fallen to the Lady Cilliand, and I've reason to believe that now 2 of your own nobles are by proxy enthralled. I don't know your nature, or what it is you want, or whether there's anything we want in common, but I have to think that whatever it is you want is not this.
And just to be clear, this prayer is directed to the deep.
The deep itself.
You finish, and there is a brief pause.
I would like to try to lend a veneer of truth to this.
Okay. Just like a Ghost Miracle level?
Yeah, functionally as a seal of, under penalty of perjury, I do swear the foregoing to be true.
Sure.
That was the truth and nothing but the truth, though of course not the whole truth.
So there is a brief pause.
So help us task.
And then you do get a reply. You hear in your head Celian's voice say, I think perhaps the time for seeking common cause has well passed. That's all she seems to have to say.
Well,
it was worth a try. Sometimes, divided nature and all. Her nature seems not very divided.
Well, we've collapsed that division.
Are the ships getting closer?
Yes,
landed?
they've been getting closer this whole time, but I was waiting for you all to kind of finish what you were doing here before we sped up to their conclusion.
Okay, so she has storms and winds and the deep and betrayal and sacrifice. Am I missing any that we know of?
Travel. Or journeys.
Journeys.
Because that's what Rimalus was.
Okay.
Did we miss predation?
Predation's there, yeah.
Sorry, I was poking through notes.
We've done it once here before. We can try it again. We can end journeys and the deep. Just by eliminating the sea. We'd have to, obviously, reroute Ferret as a trade city along something. But if there isn't a deep, there isn't a god of it.
Are you saying any of this out loud?
Yeah.
I think we should wait until Dosk is awake, just so we can save
We don't
them.
know when he'll be awake. This is Palaran a second time.
My eyes light up as though I'm seeing a Bible story come to life. And I'm the kid at camp to whom that's very exciting. That took a tremendous amount of power, right? Can we pull that off?
Well, we don't have the blessing, the whatever it was in the knife. But we're a bit more advanced now, and there are more of us, and we can pool resources.
Thunder is starting to roll constantly and audibly on the horizon, and you can see lightning flashing, but the ships themselves are pulling into the harbor, and while it'll take a span of time for those who are limited to mortal capabilities to disembark.
I pray to the deep earth and seek its aid.
In just a moment, Apatia
Sure.
comes flying off the bow of one of the ships that's most damaged, and lands on the harbor, and then starts running in your direction. What is it that you are praying to the deep earth? Seeking its aid, but
If you can be in Ferret, please do. We would like assistance in raising the deep earth. That the deep earth may be deeper, but that the deep itself may not be.
you have my attention. I'll make haste, but it may yet be a moment. I am quite distant.
Perhaps you could route through Bor. I am sure that Dusk would be willing to receive you as a visitor.
I will see what I can do.
Thank you.
At about that moment, Apatia comes running up and, taking a cue presumably from Kea, launches herself at Lissa.
Yes.
Yeah.
I catch her and spin her around.
She gives you a wide and disconcerting because sharp smile. And as you set her down, she says, "It is good to see you all. I am sorry for my absence, but, well, Dimacor was in a state, and now it's in a different one." She gestures to the ships. "We lost fully a third on the way. Everything was fine
So
until
sorry.
about 2 days ago. But, something seems to have changed out at sea. However,
We think
Sealand is now also the deep, but Sealand lacks a chancel.
well, that is good and
And
bad news.
the portion of her that was resting in the chancel, but she probably parlayed that through sacrifice into power.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Indeed, she looks out at the storms and she says, "They've gotten worse since we passed through them. I don't know exactly what to expect, but I think that she may be committing entirely to this one."
we need to end her, but I want to save my friends.
Indeed. She sort of looks askance. She says, "I suppose it would be straightforward enough with Philia, but I don't know how exactly one would eat the heart of a storm."
I'm not sure either.
If anyone could find a way, it'd be Mavia.
Apatia chuckles. Um,
In many ways, I think Dusk is perfectly suited toward eating the heart of a storm.
has he awakened?
No.
She sort of gives a little pinch-faced expression and says, "Bollocks," and then looks up at Lissa and goes, "Varric taught me that one."
Oh my god, that's the cutest thing.
While you've been talking, Imbi has come up and just sort of held Apatia's hand. Apatia has returned the squeeze reassuringly. At this time, ships have begun to dock and start disembarking Diamacorans.
I will also convey to Croesus that these storms will be possibly very bad, and to start preparing for those to the degree possible. We will do our best to mitigate and possibly prevent, but...
Yes, well, step ahead of you. Windows are
Good.
being boarded up. We're getting work crews. We've seen storms, and these look very bad. So,
these are divine.
yes, of course. He sounds very tired.
Yes.
So, Ruta has sort of been peering at the Diamacor ships and now at the people getting off of them with academic interest, and he clears his throat and says, "Apatia, I presume, Ruta, Flair, nice to make your acquaintance. Is it always the case that those of Diamacor have animal aspects. And sure enough, the people getting off the boats are some perfectly normal Diamacorans. Others look like the folks who were, partly possessed by ancestor spirits in your sort of last big confrontation there. Elements of animals, sort of expressing themselves on otherwise human forms, but they don't seem to be, feral. They're just, going about their business normally. And Apatia says, "Oh, well, it's not precisely usual, but, it's, I suppose, going to be. Part of my, shall we say, reforms in Nyx's absence involved a treaty of sorts with the spirits of our ancestors, and, I do hope it comes in handy at any rate. Those wishing to volunteer were formed just individual pacts with spirits of their own ancestors for the most part. And, you can see the result. We did manage to fish most people out of the water. We lost some." She seems sad at thinking about it, but sort of tries to shake it off and says, "So the ships have been very crowded and our supplies are running low. They'll certainly appreciate any supplies that can be spared." And sure enough, you can see carts moving into the harbor district.
We have been in contact with Croesus about that.
She nods. "We appreciate it." Imbi, has been sort of staring and looks up at Apatia and says, Is my mother," and Apatia sort of interrupts and says, "I wouldn't have been able to keep her from coming to see you. Not that I wanted to." Imbi gives sort of a nervous smile and kind of nods her head in the direction of the harbor, and Apatia nods, and Imbi walks with as much dignity as she can manage while hurrying towards the harbor. As the storm grows closer, the wind picks up, and people in the harbor start securing, ships as well as they can to weather the storm, battening down hatches in a pretty literal sense.
Is there a tortoise around the winds that are already reaching the harbor?
No, these are presumably displaced air.
Okay. I'm going to do a lesser destruction of fury and make the harbor at least calm while these preparations are going on and while these ships are being unboarded.
Yeah, it doesn't eliminate the turbulence, but it severely reduces it, which is helpful. Yes.
I'd like to spend a miracle point and activate my "How do I murder" gift.
Target?
The deep.
Okay.
Or rather, Celiand qua whatever is the most effective avenue.
Okay. So, Celiand currently is an unenchanceled imperator. So, while it will be difficult, murdering her is as straightforward as harming her with violence. Mm-hmm. This can be made easier by taking her estates and their power into account, being able to counter or ideally corrupt aspects of her estates would make it easier to deal inflicting harm to her. So of the ones you know of, figuring out ways to turn them against her or sort of undermine them in poetic ways would reduce the amount of miraculous energy that would need to be expended powering through her Imperial Auctoritas and creating miracles of lasting harm to her. And it wouldn't hurt to bring Bloodstone to bear, as this would be a efficacious way of channeling miraculous power through her defenses more cheaply, if nothing else.
Do we have any?
Yeah. We have quite a bit of Bloodstone left.
Lovely.
I believe that specifically Apatia has her flechettes, and you have the
Hammer.
sort of spike on the other side of Electo. Yeah, are the two avenues there.
Shall we brainstorm some ways to undermine her estates?
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
There's an easy target, I feel.
We've already raised the seafloor the once.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can just do that to some degree again. Particularly with Tohil's assistance, which means we'll get a bat to play in the last battle.
Everything about that is great.
You just like completely changed my entire leanings. But a bat in last battle also means that bat is vulnerable in last battle.
The bat is vulnerable regardless.
The bat is vulnerable regardless, and cute.
He'll be among friends though.
He will be among friends, and the bat is a battle bat and should battle.
True. I do love the idea of a battle bat. A battle.
And somewhere in my head there's going, yes, the butter battle bat.
That's about where I was.
I'm so glad I wasn't the only one. But in any event, there's that. There's the notion that journeys have ends.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a journey is continuous, it is not indeed a journey. Entirely.
We just need to draw her out.
Or drown her.
True. We could give her the sensation of drowning.
I mean, I think a good first attack is just
making the deep less deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The sea
the
is
undeepening.
shallow.
The undeepening seems like the most fundamental attack on the nature of the deep.
Yeah. Let the seas be shallow.
Let's continue to cause ecological crises.
No. We're remaking the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is a step beyond that.
We are a bit of an ecological crisis in and of ourselves.
We really are.
Whether we can honor the campsite rule in the end remains to be seen. But we're well past the point of there being any possibility of there being no ecological crises.
Yeah. I'm good for it. I'm just making a
no.
joke.
Taken in the spirit it was intended. I think you blew my mind a little bit. Okay, but we need Tohil for this gambit, right?
Well, we've done it before without it. It'll
It's
just
true.
be easier with it.
True, all true.
And so that's one thing. There's journeys ending.
Trying to think which of our powers could undermine the nature of journeys the best.
Yeah. That one is difficult,
I think it's
too,
a combination of me and Croesus.
because
By which I mean, he bars journey from the city, and I make that true. Journeys do not come to Ferret.
that would be a more effective way of doing it than where the journey's ending angle was coming from, I think.
And ultimately, I think, I just blow a shit ton of residual power on let all of this be a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in a battle, murder is handy. There's
Battle murder is very handy.
just
Quotes to live by.
perennial use. Well, if we want to do something with the journey specifically, tempo is certainly of use.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Rush it to its end, endlessly prolong it, arriving at its destination. Any of the above is possible.
Yeah.
But I remember a successful journey being a boon to Romulus, which is why he helped us arrive at our destination to begin with.
That's right.
So stalling, preventing the journey.
Forever incomplete.
Okay. So that's something I can for sure do. The fleet never quite arrives because it hasn't arrived yet, right? It's getting close.
The storm has not arrived.
The storm
has arrived.
Excuse me.
The
The
storm
fleet has
has
arrived.
arrived.
Don't mess with that
No,
fleet.
the fleet is Diamok. I'm sorry. I meant the enemy forces, which in this case is the storm,
Yeah.
not the fleet. Thank you for the correction.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I think I prevent the storm from arriving via. Let's see. Am I creating a tempo? Am I destroying a tempo? Am I?
I'm going to
simply
make
changing?
a recommendation.
Yeah.
Change.
Jot down what you intend to do,
Yeah.
like individually or as a group, of like what the plan that you're coming up with is.
I like it.
Because time-wise, we are coming up on our end of session here, and it is likely that we're going to see these things get implemented not in this session.
Yeah.
Sure.
So maybe chat is not the... We need to actually write this in a document somewhere, because I think chat gets deleted.
Discord.
It does, yes. For some reasons, Zencaster does not really preserve chat. But
I'm recapping next time, so I'll have a version of this.
perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And I
You
think
will be our
that
note taker for this meeting.
yeah, doing strategizing is something that you are doing now. It will probably also in-game stretch over, a little bit of time that you have as the storm closes in and you are communicating with other people. While this sort of strategy conversation is taking place, a couple of things are occurring. The Diamok contingent is fully disembarked and sort of getting set up in harborside accommodations and sort of provisioned, given medical treatment where necessary, food and water entirely. Ships are being secured. Imbi also brings her mother, Onella, sort of up. The first thing, of course, that you notice is that one of the reasons that Lissa, this is Imbi's mother, is because you recognize the wolf that she was when you first encountered her, only instead of being a large, totally monster wolf, she simply has sort of the head of that wolf to scale, and then sort of hands, well, not even fully hands, claws, and then sort of feet and tail of that wolf, the rest of her being pretty human. Think like Egyptian god style, apportioning here. But she still manages to make the extremely toothy smile that she gives you warm as she approaches, and gives a little bit of a bow and says in surprisingly intelligible speech in Diamok. So, not really universally understandable, but Lissa, you will at least catch that she thanks you for taking care of Imbi, and that she is proud of everything that you've accomplished together. Giving sort of an affectionate little pat to Imbi's shoulder. Imbi looks pleased but nervous. She's changed a lot since she was last home, but she seems reassured by her mother's example. Onella also offers for the Diamok Corps to provide whatever assistance they can. That they are apprised of the situation, and that any of them will be happy to sort of relay requests to the rest. In the meantime, she
fervent belief in Apatia, dusk, and nothing.
she nods. I suppose after this perhaps has been relayed through Lissa or Imbi, or Apatia for that matter, and goes to spread the word. Imbi and Apatia have a quiet conversation in Diamok over to one side that lasts just a minute or two. During that time, these discussions are kind of going, and we're, mindful of the approach of the storm while this happens, but a large shape sort of swoops down over the rooftops into the street and lands. And you are treated to the sight of Toheel standing on the cobblestones with his wings kind of wrapped up formally, with Puff clinging to his shoulders and sort of head coming up over his shoulder. And he gives a slight bow, batty little bow, and says, "The deep earth stands ready to offer what assistance we may. It certainly seems that things have rapidly come to a head." Puff sort of disengages from his piggyback ride and sort of starts darting around investigating things in a very canine fashion.
Celiand is the deep as well.
I see. That is worrisome.
Thus we seek to have the deep only be earthen, and all seas be shallow.
Toheel says, "We shall certainly work at it. I'll marshal as much power as I can and strike as great a blow as I am able." And he sort of...
If you would consent to it, I would like to attempt to make it a murder when it happens.
I assume the murder will be angled at Celiand, in which case, of course.
Of course. No. I would not murder you, my friend.
Certainly not. I just wished for precision, is all.
Of course.
He sort of...
you would be the agent and the miracle, the vector of the murder.
That is agreeable.
In addition to the other things we intend to bring to bear.
And he sort of tap, 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 waddles over to the side of the road, and is available for conversation, but is, evidently sort of drawing up power, strategizing. He seems to be communing with Puff.
I will also ping Croesus. I would like a symbolic decree created as soon as possible.
Of course.
Barring journey from the city.
Well, you do know how to make my day weirder and worse, but I will do as you say, trusting that this is to preserve my city.
Yes, we are indeed trying to preserve both the city and the ability to trade by water.
Then it shall be done.
Thank you.
Let's see. Vruta speaks up, asking no one in general, do we know which gods are left?
I think it's just us, her, and Puff.
He glances at the small canine and says, "I see. Well, good to know. That requires a bit of finesse, I would think, as we should avoid having any one left standing." So he sort of looks over at Puff and says, "Do take care then not to come to harm, so we have at least the two once she's gone."
Hey.
Puff does that little canine head cock, and then sort of begins licking his paw.
Perhaps if once things really get started, Puff might go chill with Dusk and Boar. This is addressed at both Puff and Toheel.
Toheel sort of stares for a moment and says, "I believe that could be arranged, and it may be the safest thing. Yes, we will try." And he sort of makes the end of that slightly a question and seems to have, again, sort of a silent conversation with Puff, and then says, "Yes, that will be our first plan."
Excellent.
And so things sort of bustle for a moment or two more, and on the verge of where Leorian is about to begin with the, sort of running interference with the storm, you get, I say you, Lissa, you get an unexpected prayer. It takes you a moment to place the voice, about a sentence in. But the prayer is coming from Eka, the Nobilis of Cirtha. His voice sounds kind of rough, but he says, I hope this reaches you, but we don't know what's wrong. I'm barely in touch with my familia, and they are barely in touch with our god, but something is certainly happening, and we would gladly repay information with assistance at this point. And I think that's where we're going to end our session. So, everybody can get 1 mortal experience point.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll conclude this session of Dice Punks. Thanks for joining us. I hope our players and listeners enjoyed it as much as I did, and that you'll join us again next time. If you're hearing us now, then you probably know where to listen to this, but we can be found almost any place one can listen to podcasts, as well as on the wider web at dicepunks.com. Still, currently on Twitter as @dicepunks, as well as attempting to branch out to other platforms. And with that, I think we're ready to say farewell. So say goodbye to the kind folks at home, players.
Thanks for listening, and do try to know to whom you pray.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Though ideally not with murder.
No, especially with murder. Thanks for listening, folks, and if you must recreate the world, be thorough about it.
And as the poet once said, hunt them, get away, hurt them. Nothing breathes inside. Nothing lives inside. Thank you for tuning in to our penultimate session, dear listeners, and stick around through the admin stuff for a Romnet rumination. The songs in this episode, Theme of the Dice Punks and its acoustic version, were written and recorded by the Viscount of Tempo and his element, Drew. Cover art and editing were done by Joanne, who has appeared on the podcast now and again. Check out her work around the internet, where she goes by Anything Sows. Site design and graphics for dicepunks.com or by Robin, the player behind Lissa and Mavia, the Nobilis of Fury and Madness. Rain and the one roll engine it runs on were created by Greg Stolze, whose work can be found at gregstolze.com, and Nobilis was created by Jenna Caterin Moran, which can be found at afarinsunlessland.wordpress.com. Links to both systems and authors can be found on the Punk Grimoire section of our website, dicepunks.com. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, that's reward enough on its own, but if you're so inclined, you can help us out by rating and reviewing us wherever you listen to us, telling your friends who you think would like us to give us a listen, and even by heading over to our Patreon at patreon.com/dicepunks. We have fun rewards available to backers, including a patron-only Discord and access to Dice Peak's after show for episodes 1 and following. Regardless, we hope you'll tune in again, and until then, remember, subtlety is for cowards.
Here we are at the end, where all that might remain hereafter is murder and truth. Well, also darkness at the end. But that's not quite true now, is it? And I would know, and must acknowledge it. This isn't the end. However this goes, it will continue. The world, the survivors, the shards and the concepts they're tied to. Truth will endure until concepts cease. Thus we are immortal. This is not the end, however it falls out, and truth shall see things through.